What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Last But Not Least podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Snapisode.
It's your favorite cousin, KG.
And we got two guests in the building today. We in rare form. Yeah. Y'all know Miss Pinky over here.
Hey.
One time. And we got a special guest in the building for her. What you want?
I'm Treneice.
Treneice in the building from Charlotte.
Charleston.
I'm
gonna
get
You're gonna get it right. You're gonna get it right.
Chucktown,
I'm gonna get it right. My bad. As always, make sure y'all subscribe, hit the bell, comment, like, share this with your folks, family, friends, whoever will listen. We'll take whatever subscribers that we can. We try to get monetized, try to get to the bag, as they say.
Right.
Young folks, as they say. I'm too old to be saying it like that. 80s baby, shout out to y'all.
Old as you think.
I guess. So, wanted to get to a formal part 2, right? Male honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of women have problems with male honesty.
Ooh. Wow, what?
I want to get y'all thoughts. What in your tenure as a woman do you believe men lie about first? Let me go.
I think they lie about everything.
Oh, God.
So,
no.
Let me put some context about it.
No
lies told, though. I do think that they lie about everything. I don't think it's always intentional, though. So that's the caveat, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's always intentional. I think it's I'm used to it. This is what I got to do to protect my image. This is what I got to protect myself, my ego, whatever it is. So I think they lie about anything. Any and everything, honestly.
Okay, so is that lying to female, like you specifically as a woman?
Everybody. I don't think they just lie to us. Like when you watch and you sit back and you study and you observe a man, like you realize that they lie to everybody. They lie to their friends,
their kids,
their sister.
Now, is that a male thing or is that just a human thing?
That's a human thing, but I feel like
niggas got
just
it.
In my experience,
right? Okay.
In my experience of observation, right? I feel like they do it more. I feel like it's just more ingrained in a man. It's more natural for them to do it, right? I feel like females do it too.
Gotcha.
But I feel like it's just something that they're used to doing, and it's kind of glorified. It's like tell somebody what you want them to hear versus what the actual truth is. And I think that that's normalized. I think that it's normal for a man to do it.
So my question to you is do you believe that men put on this persona as a means to impress women? Because I think that happens. I think we all know people who were in high school that turned out completely opposite of what you know them to be in order to impress their friends, some girl, et cetera, et cetera. So you think, is there a method behind the madness? Or are they just some lying niggas?
No, I think there is a method. I don't always think it has anything to do with the female. I think it has more to do with their own personal beliefs about themselves.
Yeah.
And what they want people to know. Like, if you can get a female to believe that's who you are, somebody that's interested in you, then it's like, all right, cool. If she believe it, I'm going to get everybody else to believe it. Because you got to keep up with the lie.
Oh, my God. That's
right? You almost turn into it. You right? You
they keep up with it so much to start believing.
Yeah, like you own it. You got to own it. So if you lying to her, you gotta lie to this person. You gotta like it needs to be believable. You can't make it believable if you only doing it with one person and one female.
I agree. There's no better way to sharpen your lying skills is to get more than one person to believe the same lie.
Right.
I'm not saying that as a professional liar. I mean, it sounds like I got it down to a science.
It sounds like you know something.
I'm just saying the best way for you to practice certain things is by continuously doing it. And if you can get somebody who's uninvolved or has no reason to believe you one way or the other to believe you, then you're sharpening your skills. You know what I mean? Steel sharpens steel. But I guess for guys, I think most dudes, African American dudes, I can only speak to what I've been around, but I believe that on its surface, we have to be strong. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're taught to be. We're taught to be strong. We're taught to not care if something shit really hurt. You're supposed to just hide that, you know what I mean? And compartmentalize it. And nobody's supposed to know some of the things that you're going through. So it's some of the lies are unnecessary, granted. You know what I'm saying? This really my Lambo when you rented it this weekend.
Nah, baby.
It is.
Nah, baby. That's not a legit lie.
I mean, it's
lying for the weekend.
Look, if you say for the weekend, that's different. But if you out here talking about it's yours and you didn't cashed out on it, first of all, I already know you're lying because that's not information that I would need to know. It's not something I would care to know. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
But there are some females that check for dudes'
that's
cars
them hungry,
and
thirsty,
that's true.
Bitches.
But it's Atlanta though.
Tell me, I need
a lot of them
because I don't want to be surprised when I find out it's not true.
Well, I mean, you should have knew that.
How is not true?
Listen.
I paid my money for the weekend.
That's what I said. You said for the week.
But I feel like that's a part of why they do it, because they can't be themselves. They can't be honest and get what they feel like they deserve to get. Like they don't get the respect if they don't lie. If they're being honest, the females might not want them. You know, the niggas gonna be hating on them or you know, treating them a certain type of way. Yeah. So they feel like they gotta do it to you know, looking at
pretty much gain that attention.
Yeah,
that's what it
fuck
is.
that.
Well, men respect the guy who gets the girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it come down to it,
it don't matter if you finesse to get it. You know how they used to say,
it don't matter.
She just never really win. You never really fucking win. You had to lie your way into this. Like,
yeah, but again, I mean, if I had to lie my way to be a politician, let's just go with them. That's all they do.
That's all they fucking do.
And they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. They have all this status by just lying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you still win in the end, I mean, I don't think the average person really cares that much about how they got to where they are. They just care about how people perceive. Well, that's you. I think you're different. I think everybody.
You gotta backtrack, because then, you know, at some point somebody gonna ask questions, right? And then how do you live up to that?
That's what I'm saying. How long
because
you
didn't live it, right? So I think that's where the issues start to come into play when men lie, or people lie in general. Right. But when men lie is when they gotta actually own up to the shit that they say, right? The same thing with politicians when they create all these policies and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? And then you a year in and ain't nothing happened. People start asking questions.
What happened?
Right.
what happened?
The same thing with men, and I think that's where the disconnects comes in. They don't just sometimes may not think that far ahead to think like, oh, somebody's gonna find out, right?
Well, I think respectfully, as long as the guy has obtain the cheekage at that point, I think it's a win for him. I think that's how most guys look at it. Like, if I tell 10 lies, right, and by the time you find out that I done lied 8 of these, you done found out 8 of these 10 lies, if I've already smashed, it's a win for me.
Right.
I think that's kind of like how guys.
If that's what you were trying to get.
Yeah. I mean, why are you stealing?
What you mean?
Don't steal the pussy.
Stealing.
I mean, you know, I don't know if it's stealing. I mean,
it's stealing.
It's borrowing.
Okay, so how about this? What about?
I didn't take it home.
Okay, you achieved your goals. Lie, you got the pussy, and when you get the pussy, she stole all your shit. When you woke up, she was gone.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's
fair.
right.
Come on, it's fair game.
I mean,
Hell no, you stole the pussy. You lied to me about all of this shit. Now I stole all your shit because you lied to me.
But how do you
stole the pussy, and now I'm the thief.
Steal the pussy though? Like it never left your possession. Technically,
well, it would have never been in your possession had she knew some of those fucking lies.
But that's why we had to lie to begin with.
Right.
That's why niggas need to stop lying.
It's a vicious cycle, right? So if this is gonna come off.
No, come
on.
Women.
If women would stop making that a standard for men to have certain things,
yes,
and men stop feeling like they need to live up to that standard, then maybe there wouldn't be as many lies, right? And there wouldn't be so many women feeling like, oh, niggas, all they do is lie and cheat and steal, right? We may not feel like that, but it's like that's the world we created, right? We created that shit. Not we specifically, but we as in our people as a whole, right? And nobody wants to stop. Like, to stop it, somebody got to be like, all right, I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
Collectively, more people need to say, all right, I ain't lying about this shit. If this chick don't want to fuck with me because I don't have something, I ain't fucking with her. And then you find your people.
This is what I'm saying.
Right? And then you find your people, and then you don't have to lie about it. But people don't want to go that route. They want instant gratification. They want this chick because she look like a bad bitch, or they want this nigga because he look like he got this shit, and neither one of them ain't got shit.
Right,
exactly.
Right. Well, so let me ask you this: like, so when you talk about like the requirements that men feel like we have to live up to on a regular basis, right? Most, and this is perpetuated in the music, right? So as they say, broke boys don't deserve no pussy. So what qualifies as a broke boy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
For me, it's not your pockets, it's your mind.
So you can be a rich broke nigga.
Yeah, you could be broke in multiple fucking ways, and that's why I don't like when people be like, "Oh, I'm broke." You're not specifying how you're broke. That means you're speaking into existence your money, your pockets being broke, possibly your arm or your leg, your throat, your neck, your back. You speaking a whole bunch of brokenness on you, and you're not being specific on how you're broke. So just don't even fucking say you're broken.
When you say the word broke, I think about lottery tickets. He's like, "Nigga, I'm broke. I can't eat."
No, I think about your mindset. You're broke to me when you have a one track mind when you can't think about when you're in a certain situation, and instead of you being like, all right, if I make this move, I can get back where I was, or either start back on the journey to get where I was before I got into this position, versus you just going to rob somebody that's broke minded.
Gotcha. I got you. That makes sense.
A lot of niggas be broke in the wrong way. Some women don't care about you not having money if she's already used to taking care of her fucking self. Maybe she can bring your broke ass along to teach you how to get some money, so now y'all can get money together. But if your fucking mind is broke, nigga, I can't fix that. You need to go to therapy.
Let's pivot. Are you okay with a broke nigga?
No.
I'm not okay with
let
a
me
broke
say this.
nigga.
Right. Let me say this. I'm not saying they can't have financial downfalls. Everybody has that. People who are rich have that. But to me, broke is when you get there and you stay there. That's what broke is to me. Okay. Is when you get down and you don't do anything to get back out of that, right? So no, I'm not okay with that, because that's more than just, that's deeper than just money and finances. That's your mindset. It's like one thing happens, something happened, and you just give up. So no, I'm not okay with that, because to me, that's what broke people do. Right? Everybody goes through things. Everybody has financial issues. Something happened. You can't account for everything all the time. But what you gonna do when it happened? Like, you gonna stay there? Or you gonna go and grind and get your get your money back up, right? Hustle. But a broke nigga stay broke and be broke for years.
Right? If you got somebody to live off of. Right. For real.
I mean, yeah, but even if they don't have nobody to live off of, they just okay with being broke. And I'm not okay with somebody just living in that, because then that means that you want me to be okay with living in that shit, and I ain't all right with that.
So this is the episode we had before. Are you okay with a guy being a bus driver?
Oh
yes.
Go watch the video. It is going to be in the description below.
I am very okay.
Ebony K. Williams spoke about it. So
please be employed.
I mean,
what employed how you would like to be employed.
Yeah. I mean, he only likes driving the bus.
Well, then driving buses, baby.
Wait a minute. I don't know.
Let's
say this, right? A bus driver only work a certain amount of time, right? There's a lot of time left in the day that you could be doing something else. So why is he okay with just doing that one thing?
Well, let's just say let's not say he's not a millionaire, but he makes enough for his lifestyle.
That's fine, but why not strive for more? Like, why settle for? To me, time is precious, right?
Yeah. Right.
If you got time to make some shit shake, make that shit shake. I don't care if you making enough money or not. Like, you can make $100,000 driving a bus. I don't care. But it only took you these amount of hours, right? So you're only working 4 hours a day. So what you doing with the rest of your time? Are you investing that? Cool. If you invest in it, cool, right? But if you're not doing something else to draw more, because that still ain't enough money. That's not generational wealth. That's you got money right now. But what about next year, the year after next? Like, what if something happened and you can't drive bus? Like, what you gonna do? That ain't enough money to sustain life.
And I very rarely bring up the Jerry Springer show. Right? I rarely bring it up. But one of the things back when I used to watch that show, shout out to Grandma, we would watch those shows in the summertime. Right. R.I.P. God bless the dead. One of the things that you would always hear women complain about is you don't spend enough time with me. And I think it's important to point that out, that while I'm making this money, right, I can't do everything. I can't be, a 6-figure guy making all this money. We're going on these elaborate vacations, and in the same breath, you're complaining that we don't spend enough time. When I come home, I'm asleep, and you don't get any personal time. So it's like, how do we as men sit back and say, this is the perfect balance for this specific woman, because none of y'all are the same. So it's like, this is something that we battle with on a regular basis, where it's just like, how do we know?
I feel like that plays in a part where, like, everybody got to pull their weight. You want 100% in a relationship. I don't like that 50-50 shit. Don't fucking 50-50 me, because I'm not going to 50-50 myself. 100. And what I mean by 100 is to mean one day you might come in, you might be feeling 40 and I'm 80. You know what I'm saying? It's like a give-take relationship. So I think the complaints come in is when one person is holding the heavier weight longer. So yeah, you have a job and you're gone and you're working. But if I'm working too, and my job is not the only thing I'm doing, I still have to cook, clean, wash, fold. If you're not coming in off work and chipping in on a home front, that's time spent right there. Because we could have that time if you can lighten my load while I lighten your load. And we can meet in the middle once we get these kids the fuck out the way. We can have all the time we need.
Well,
but if you just work and you're gone all day, and then when you come home, you're tired from just work, but you're home and you're being catered and pampered to because now you back home. Now your woman got you. Who got me?
Well, I get that, and there lies the problem, because one thing you got to understand is, like, when you're in corporate America and you start moving up the chain, right? The more you make, the more responsibility is inevitably gonna fall on that man's shoulders, right? So if you go from an assistant to a manager in any field, right, your responsibilities go from 10 to 20 to 100, you know, and it becomes stressful. You got meetings, Zoom meetings, communications, but that's the thing though. You can't tell your job, hey, I gotta go home because if not, my wife gonna trip. And the money that I'm making is kind of what keeps us in a happy place, because we get to afford the house we're in, the cars that we drive. So as a dude, I can't sit up here and differentiate when I gotta pull back on the money or my ambition that you want me to have in place of spending time with you. Because if I got ambition, now I'm just running with ambition. You can't tell me how to monitor that ambition. Right. And now I'm stressed out.
So I'll say this to say, that bitch don't need to be working. Okay?
The wife?
If the wife is the wife and y'all have an agreement in place where take care of this household and I got everything else, meaning financially you don't have to worry about whether y'all got food, clothes, shelter, water, whatever. Do your job, bitch. That's your job. But if she has to go to work too, oh nigga, you gonna play a part in this household. I'm tired too. But guess what? You was gone. You was at work. I did homework. I did the washing. Your meal's ready. The house is clean. You got shit to say. Your bath water ran. You had a day like I had a day, but I had a day and then a day and then a day and then a day. If you can come in and say, you know what, baby, I got this. I'll go ahead and knock the dishes out of the way real quick while you tackle something else. We can have our day and our night together, because then I don't have so much more shit to do versus the one thing you did to cover everything. But it's like a role thing.
It's
everybody
a roller coaster.
Need to play their part. But like I said, when we was just talking about off scenes, I would love to see more people running their shit how they want to run their shit. Like, your relationship is your relationship. What you do and don't allow, it doesn't matter what somebody else could implement and say, girl, you shouldn't be he should. Like I was saying, like, what if my man don't like taking out the trash, but I don't like folding clothes? You think I'm about to take out that fucking trash? I'm about to take that trash out. Because I'm not folding them fucking clothes. It's a give-take thing.
That's where communication comes into play, because everybody's a little different, right? So balance, right? So I'm okay with a man working and chasing his dreams and being ambitious. Just don't forget about me, right? Okay. So that's where planning comes into play. I'm a big planner, right? Just like you plan to go to work, you got a work schedule, you got to show up, you got to abide by these certain things for that thing to make the finances. Look at your home life kind of the same way. Like, what obligations do I need to make sure are taken care of at home? And then just make a schedule, like plan it out. Like, if you know that you work a lot, then cool. All right, we're gonna make sure we do a date night once a month at least, right?
Okay.
I know. I feel like men typically don't like planning things out because it makes it feel like it's
spontaneous is better. Like,
it is, but what if spontaneous
never really fit?
Get you in those situations where now your woman mad, or now she nagging you because she mad because you ain't spend no time with her, but you was being spontaneous and you forgot to do XYZ. So it's easier to just set something like men. I feel like men just don't want to commit themselves to something because then they don't know what could be happening, right? Something could be popping off this weekend. You done told your woman you was gonna do this, now you want to do something different. And women are like that too. I mean, I think we all get like that, but I think it's just easier when this important to you, just like your job important to you. You're gonna make time for it.
You're gonna make time for it.
And they don't have to. And for me, I'm gonna say this, right? I feel like women, sometimes we forget that we live this certain lifestyle and we might not be providing the finances for it. Okay. So I will agree to that. I think that we forget that sometimes, and sometimes I think we gotta remember, like, hey, this nigga gotta go to work.
Right.
One, I don't want to pay no bills, and two, I ain't gonna pay no bills. Right. So let me let him do his thing, and then let me just put a little reminder, like, hey, let's do this. Or maybe plan something. I'll be like, hey, I want you to come here. But I think it could be handled differently than the way we as Black women and Black men handle it.
I think I do better with planning, like a reminder, like, hey, we got this.
Right.
Do I gotta remind you to come get this coochie?
Dang.
Nah,
Then we should not have to remind to have fun.
But okay,
I feel like when a man chasing his paper, he might not be thinking about that for free.
Yeah,
when I can enjoy, like, okay, because you know how some people let their work life alter their mood or their attitude depending on what kind of day they may have had at work. I don't want that. Leave that shit at work.
Okay.
But see, that's easier said than done. Especially like when you, like, again, going back to like the price point, right? I don't know if y'all have a set price point on what your man need to make or et cetera, right? But for instance, you're talking like property management, right? You got people who work portfolio managers. You got one manager responsible for 10 communities. 10 communities mean you got 10 board meetings a month, right? Out of 10 board meetings a month, it ain't but 4 weeks in a month. So, you know what I mean? You divide that up. He's working after hours trying to accommodate that. Now, granted, he may be making anywhere between $80,000 to $100,000, but when it comes to his time and what he wants to do, he might not want to watch Tubi with you when he get home. He might be tired.
Listen, if you better take me to work with him.
Okay, I was just about to say, listen, baby, you don't
together.
listen. Them kids at school, that's my break, and that's my free time to kind of prepare for the rest of the night.
Sometimes
I'm about to come get you at work, boy.
Well, get you in what you talking sexual?
I'm about to come.
You talking sexual?
If I know I can't get you at home, if I know I can't get you at home, boy, what?
So y'all going in the model home?
Listen. If I can't get my man at home, and I know I need to keep him home when he come home,
that's what tent for.
Make him want to come home.
You said a
tent on the car. Tent.
Oh,
that's true.
Tent for a car.
I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
What if you see, as you said, the 10 board meetings and this and this and that, and I got this and this and that too. So if it has to be squeezed in at a moment where I know that I'm more flexible to take away some time for what I got going on to make ends meet at the household, to come get you, I'm about to come get you, boy. If I can't get it when you get home, the fuck.
Well, maybe that's something that people need to take note of. If you're watching this video, go get it.
Go get your man,
quote unquote,
or your woman, because a lot of women work a lot too, and niggas be chilling.
Well, yeah,
you feel like she ain't spending enough time with you, and you know that providing for the household is what's taking up majority of the time that y'all could have together.
Well, yeah. I mean,
meet her on her lunch break. Instead of buying her food that she can already afford, apparently, draw that D and go home.
That's true. I mean, there's an element of law enforcement. You do want to make sure if anybody's watching this.
But that's what makes it so fun.
I don't want you to be like, I got locked up listening to Last But Not Least podcast. I got locked up
by going to get my
trying to get some trim.
15%. 15% tent.
That's illegal too.
Yeah, it is. But, okay,
I'll pay that, you know. I pay that little tent.
But see, this is the caveat though, right? Like, so, okay, you said go get that dick is what she said, end quote. But if that's how y'all always have sex, eventually you'll feel some type of way that's the only way that y'all have sex.
Well,
and he gonna get used to it.
It don't have to be the only way, but if this is the way that we can make shit happen until we get that family vacation, until you get that week or two off, I'm fucking doing it.
Okay.
You're my man. You don't want me fucking nobody else, do you?
Well, that's
better hand it the fuck here then. Shut up.
Okay.
How we getting it? As long as it gets got, it's fine with me.
As long as you get got,
it's fine with me.
I mean, but he coming home at night. So, I mean, nobody said he wasn't coming home at night, right?
Well,
he's just busy during the days.
He's tired.
He motherfucking tired.
He ain't that tired.
Niggas be tired.
I mean, niggas ain't tired for sex. I tell you
not
that.
every night. He ain't tired every night.
It's like,
but I'm just saying,
like men have like a little storage. Sex? Oh yeah, I'm energized. Right. Anything else?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, not every night, but like you said, like if you do get that gap in between where you notice, like, damn, y'all ain't really been able to like put hands on each other. That's when those spontaneous moments pop in that pays off. That's like, this is worth doing this shit. Right. I'm doing.
So
this
what
shit
about spending time outside and having sex? What about?
Why would I mean,
I guess like she said, that's
the only thing. Is that
those vacation?
That's the vacation times and stuff. Like
that's
that.
the in between.
It's not the only thing you're doing. It's
right. That's how I'm like, okay, that's.
It's just like a little help.
Sometimes, but what about the actual time spent?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a difficult thing because like we as guys, right? Every dude usually has a thing, a hobby of some sort that he likes to do in his free time, and that may be something that it just resets his clock. So whether that's football season coming up, shout out Bengals, who they, that's what it is on a Sunday during the football season. Look, we could do anything before the game. We could do anything after the game. But during the game,
as long as you do me before you do you, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean that's one person.
All right.
So how do you feel about that? Because
we're gonna do that too. But what else are we doing? Because we can do that every night.
Yes, that's what I was just telling you.
I'm
a once
right?
a nighter.
Right? So we can do that at night too, right? I'm cool with spontaneous doing it during the day, meeting up, having a little quickie, whatever. That's cool too. But that ain't it. We got to be doing some other shit.
Like, you want some Barry White and some candles.
I wanna go do shit. I like to go party. I like to go
have fun.
Out,
you want to enjoy her partner.
You want date?
Yeah, she wants to enjoy her partner.
We're gonna spend time. If you have time to spend doing all these other things, then you can make some time to spend with me as well. Now, again, like I said, that's where communication, you can just figure out how to make it work. If your husband work all the time and he the boss, or your man work all the time and he the boss, and he got all these meetings, cool, ride with his ass while he doing his thing. I'm sure you have something that you could be doing as well. And if he a boss, why the fuck are you not a boss?
Exactly.
So like, if he busy, you should be busy. I believe that. That's to me that works.
So then, like, because usually it comes down to scheduling. Even like with the podcast, like we'll have people reach out and like, yeah, I'll get on the podcast, but it always come back down to scheduling. So if you a boss and you're responsible for so many people and any various thing can happen on any day-to-day basis, how do y'all actually get time to each other if both of y'all are responsible for 50, 60 people? How do y'all make that work?
You make it work the same way you make everything else in life work. There's no I'm about to say there's no right or wrong answer to that. Just the same way we here and we made this shit work and we all got things that we do. The same way you do that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. There's no difference to it.
Effort as you would for anything you want. Like the effort you put in to go make $1 billion. Don't have a partner if you know you're not going to be able to cater to that partner while you go and make this fucking $1 billion. How about you be single, get your $1 billion, and then make time for the person that you
or you need to have a partner that can understand the grind
or who's willing to add on or help you make that fucking $1 billion.
Communication, it breaks down to you and your partner, y'all be on the same fucking page and willing to work towards the same goal together.
So if we could just speak to this, like, so have y'all had situations where a man didn't make time for you? Like, can you relate to that? Where it's like you was with somebody, he had some of the things you wanted, he just simply couldn't make.
I'm having those problems now being single.
Oh, okay.
In a relationship, no, and it could be clean up my ass crack. But being single.
Cleaning up your ass crack.
I've never heard that expression before.
That's a new
like
shit.
They say white on
Kevin
rice.
Gates words.
They on you like white on rice.
That ain't like clingy. That shit ain't irritating.
I mean, it
do men do that?
Yes.
Really?
Sometimes.
That's
some of them.
Weird. Like,
yeah. I don't think I do it.
But you never know how someone else perceives you.
Yeah, but I mean, my personality, like I'm an Aries, so like I'm very adaptable, right? But if we are generally, I will stray to myself in the event that I just want to be in my zone. Like I'm very sociable when it needs to be, but when I'm just relaxed, I'm probably just off to myself. Not like I'm mad, I'm not upset or anything like that. It's just like my comfort zone can be like, let me just see what's going on. Like I'll be editing a video or some shit. It's like I'm still here, but you know, I'm son jumping up top of my head. It's like, hey, let me get this done. And it's just like, these are some of the things that you enjoy. So it's like, I think that's another part, going back to communication, is just like, you have to understand the person that you with and understand like what's their comfort level, what's their comfort zone. Like you got some people who are overly affectionate. You got some people who don't really take to affection that well, especially like publicly. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got people that want.
I'm with the public.
I know she was with the public.
PDA.
I knew that before we even got
you with PDA.
What is PDA?
I think to a certain extent, public displays of affection.
Oh, okay.
I think to a certain extent,
to what extent?
And then it depends on the environment that you're in. I think knowing
Walmart.
When that shit is okay, I feel like a little,
grab my ass.
A little hug, a little kiss, a little something, maybe a little touch on the booty. But when you in there tonguing each other
you
down,
ain't gotta go for long.
No, okay.
But people be in there doing shit. I be like, it's kids in here,
right,
all kind of shit happening. I feel like just knowing and being more
aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the public display of affection. You don't have to go to, like you said, you don't have to go too far with it. But just if I look good to you that night, like
right,
grab me by the back
you better
of my
do
neck,
something. Let me
man.
know.
Wow, what?
You better let me know.
Okay,
Let
y'all
me
hear
find out.
the tips, guys. Y'all listen.
We
Dropping
like to
bars.
know we
Right.
look good, like a man likes for a woman to tell him that he look good, that he smell good. You want to know that you're appeasing to the person that you want to be with, that you're actually attracted to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be small things. It can be
little shit.
It can be grabbing the hand. It can be a little touch, a little face. It could be a little kiss
on the cheek.
Yeah, it could be small things. And I think
let me ask a question.
Sometimes it be
what does the forehead kiss do for you?
Ooh.
Forehead
The
kiss.
forehead kiss. Yeah.
That's assuming
that forehead kiss hit different for me.
Okay.
That's assuming that the nigga taller than you. Because if
I do like taller than me.
Baby, been down.
First off, I'm only 5'2", so if you're shorter than me, we're probably not.
But a forehead kiss for me pretty much means that basically you love me, and it's like a confirmed I love you versus you saying it out your mouth. Like you have a different kind of love for me where your only affection of you is not just has to be with me kissing your lips. I'm gonna show you I can love you and kiss all over you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a properly timed forehead kiss is more important.
It means everything.
Right. So if you just kiss me on my forehead and it's like, I'm like, okay, thank you. But if there's like some type of emotional event occurrence or something happening and a woman is in need of comfort, that's real deep, right?
Okay.
So you hug her, you kiss her on the forehead, that makes her feel safe.
Okay.
Yes,
right. She feels safe. She feels comfortable. It's like I can kiss you in the mouth and then that turn into other stuff, but I really just want you to feel okay.
Yeah.
Got that Brown Light playing in the background.
The forehead kiss hit different.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a dude, like, you know what I'm saying, like there are times where you just don't feel, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, like you have to go, and that's the one thing that fellas, we got to do better. And I know some people watch the show and they be like, y'all never get on guys. The females get on the guy, but the guys never get on guys. We do have to put forth effort in the relationship. I ain't gonna say as much as you do into your job, because I think that's your livelihood, but you do have to put forth energy on a day-to-day basis to make sure your relationship works out.
That's
now,
true.
what you do is gonna depend on what woman you have and what she's okay with, but you can't give her zero. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Goose
true.
egg. You can't give her a goose egg
That's true.
and think she's supposed to hold it down for you.
I started doing something different. With women, I think my memory started to,
memory.
So I started writing stuff down when I think it's key to write it down.
Okay.
Important.
Okay.
Like, I like purple. I like, steak. I'll start writing stuff down. So if it's a special day, I can put some purple steak on the table or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just something I write down because it's something that
women, we remember these things. It's a guy that we're interested in. Anything that we're interested in. Like if I needed to know the steps on how to start a business, I'm going to remember those steps because I really want to start this business.
Right.
When a woman is in tuned and attracted to a man, we're not going to forget anything that you do or don't like. And I think that's what hurts us so much when you guys don't remember the things that we may do or don't like, because it's like, God damn, nigga, I love you so much. I know what kind of tissue you like to use to wipe your ass.
That don't mean he don't love
you. It don't.
See, because we internalize so many things. Like I said, we're receivers. You guys are the givers. So it doesn't mean that you don't love us, but it will strike like a little chord. Like, damn, nigga, you can't remember. How much do you?
But that's the question you gotta ask yourself. How much stuff does he have to remember separate from what you know what I'm saying?
All of the stuff he got
separate from what
listen,
flower
if
you
you're
like.
not on board, if we have children together, if you're not on board with remembering all the shit that I have to remember, you better fucking remember me, because that's the only reason why we're in this relationship, because the kids in the household is taken care of. I'm giving my all to everybody in the house, and the kids, of course, are selfishly not thinking about fucking me. They're kids.
Right.
I need the man that I'm with to be thinking about me. I need the man that I'm with to remember me, because nobody is remembering me, but I have to remember every fucking body.
I think that's what women want. I think that's what women want to happen. But when you understand biologically that men and women are different, then you will be able to operate in that space better.
That's true.
A man is not going to function, think, act, or be able to remember or do the things that we do. The same way we're not going to be able to function, act, operate the way that a man operates. And that's where it comes down to understanding, wanting to have understanding, because when you understand that, then you don't take it to heart, right? And you can move through it. You can talk about it, right? Damn, nigga, you forgot my birthday, or you forgot to give me this. I told you this, and now you can tell whether he like legit, and it might just be he legit just doing his best and got a lot of life happening.
All the time, like, oh, remind me,
right? But then you realize like, oh, that's their livelihood. Like, men and women are different. Our makeups are different. Our bodies, our minds are completely different. We're stimulated by different things. We get dopamine released by different things. So it's like you can't hold a man to the standard that you will hold yourself, because we're a women, right? And so once I learned that, things became much
Mars
easier,
and Venus,
right? Yeah. It became much easier, because then I can be like, okay, I'm better at this. It's just better for me to do it, right?
Yeah.
There's no need to try to put this on my partner to try to get him to do the same thing I'm doing, because it's like pulling teeth to get him to do it.
It just ain't it.
And it's going to be harder. So the goal is to be peaceful. So if I want peace, then if it don't matter to me to do it, I'm going to just do the shit, right? I'm going to just make it to make things easier. So once you understand that men and women are just different, and we're supposed to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we're
supposed to be. So
we're not supposed to be the same. Like, I'm not going to force on my partner some shit that he just not comfortable with. Like, if you don't like washing dishes, I'm not gonna be like, wait, you didn't wash fucking dishes tonight. You know what I'm saying? He don't like fucking washing dishes, bitch. Why would you even expect him to?
But I know you're making an example, but I think like dishes is like a small concession. But
it be big to some people though. It be minor little household things that you should want out the way that be big for other people, because they're just not used to doing them. They're used to somebody else doing it for them.
I feel like if you're arguing about stuff like that, then that means that there's really a bigger problem that you just haven't gotten to figure out that there's a bigger problem.
Gotcha.
Because the underlying issue with you not doing the dishes is that you don't help me. It's not fair. I'm always doing everything right. So you arguing about the dishes, but you're not really arguing about the dishes. Because something else that happened.
The dishes and every fucking thing else.
Yeah, it's about everything else. So you really, when you really get down to the root of the problem, then you can solve the problem. But you arguing about this one thing, and a man can't even understand. All he thinking is that you mad about the dishes when you really mad about something else, but you can't even articulate that because
you pissed off about
the dishes.
So back to the topic. Why y'all not honest then? If you mad about something else?
That's me. I lay it out on the table, and then I get either I'm angry or I'm male bashing. A lot of people are like, oh, you man bashing. I'm like,
oh, you know,
fuck, this is common sense.
The shoe fit, you know. The shoe fits, you know. No.
But I'm just saying, real, if it's something really bothering you, why not bring it to it?
I say it, and I think that's where I get a lot of riffraff with the people that I'm dealing with, because a lot of guys are probably not used to somebody speaking their mind. But I can't.
Also, it's how you say it.
It's how you say it. And I be cool, calm, and collective. Like, yo, what's up?
Cool, calm, and collective.
I swear to God.
I don't know.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I had to listen. I had to learn this. This was something that I actually had to learn. I am a rah-rah ass person, especially when you piss me the fuck off. But I realized that that's triggering. It's about delivery. You can say what you need to say without being nasty. You got people that can be nice nasty. Once I learned that my delivery was fucked up, and this is probably why I'm getting the response I'm getting, I changed my delivery, and then it became from being rah-rah to calm in a heightened situation that you made heightened, but because I'm still calm, now it seems like everything I'm saying is condescending.
Right.
And you're just still missing the bigger picture of it all. So even when I calmed down and like tried to explain shit politely, it was almost like I was trying to be like a school teacher or like your mama, like, you ain't my mama. It was just like, no matter what the fuck I say, you're gonna have a fucking problem with it because you just don't like what I'm saying.
Right. I think it's about learning different communication styles. So I don't think that some men need you to be rah-rah, some to hear you, some need you to be calm to hear you, but it's about, you got this information, you're the one that knows this thing, right? So it's your job to figure out how to deliver it. That's just like a school teacher, right? The teacher got the information, that's their job to teach the kids. The kids don't know, but the teacher want to teach one way. The teacher wants to be this one day, and you can't. The same thing, women have to look at it from that standpoint. Like, you got to figure out how that person learns, how you communicate. And because you know that you have to do that thing, you're the one with the information. It's your job to just make it happen. Now after you done did that a couple of times and you tried and you let that person know, like, hey, I'm trying to work with you. I need you to try to work with me and at least listen to me. That's, but if somebody's not emotionally mature, then there ain't no need for you to even say nothing at that point.
Well, and this is where I think of some women getting kind of like into like the red zone, right? It's like, you don't want to put, I think you can articulate yourself without trying to pose yourself as a threat. And what I mean by that is
30.
I don't know who that is.
On my phone. Sorry about it.
Come on, Kevin Gates. But no, like when women step up and they challenge men in a physical form, like that's where I have an issue where it's just like you can articulate yourself without trying to belittle him, and you know what I'm saying? Because at that point, like if he identifies you as a threat, you're gonna have to deal with whatever come with that. And I think it's fair to say 98% of men are stronger than women. You know what I'm saying? On a global scale.
Yeah, but physically stronger than
women? Like physically, like you know what I'm saying? Like if y'all say go lift a couch, like you know what I'm saying? Like 10 out of 10 men probably gonna lift the couch. Maybe 9 out of 10 women gonna be able to lift the couch. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the numbers are skewed a little bit. I give you that, maybe 8 out of 10. But I think
I'm picking up a couch. In the gym lifting I literally moved my whole house plenty of times by myself without not one man.
But if we were being honest, right? Mm-hmm. If you put a guy in the ring with some boxing gloves, with a woman in the ring with some boxing gloves, which is what she going down round one.
Right, he gonna knock her.
He gonna knock her out. So I think as long as we can have a conversation where things don't get irate, we don't start pulling at each other's characteristics. There's always things that exclusively in a relationship that somebody else don't know that is his button. He shouldn't push that on you. You shouldn't push that on him, especially when you're arguing. Together. Yeah, seriously. Especially when you're arguing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's something that you disagree with, come to me and say you disagree with it. But to throw that up, you know what I'm saying, to make me feel like I can't trust you anymore, you're creating more issues than washing the dishes or whatever.
But the lies, so going back to the original topic, the lies is what make the woman feel like she can't trust him. The calm lies, the lies that aren't
unnecessary to be lied the fuck
so
about.
then the woman can't trust you. But again, it goes down to why is he lying? So maybe he feel like he can't trust her too.
Yeah,
so
but
it's like there's two sides of it. So it's like you can't really talk about trust. Yeah, you can't talk about trust and lies because then that goes back to.
Okay, but if you pitch it like this, right? Like say, okay, you in the gym, some guy walk up to you, you're in your single energy or whatever, right? Guy walk up to you, hey man, let me get your number, blah 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 blah. There are certain things about that guy that inherently you're not going to like, right? He's not going to point that out for you. He's going to try to mask that because he likes you. I think that's usually, people call that putting your best foot forward.
No.
Why you got to mask who you are? And honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
Why are you thinking about what you don't have versus what you do have? Like, why are you concerned about that?
Because in the first conversation, when a man talks to a woman, usually the conversation goes, well, how'd you end up single? This last nigga I used to talk to used to do X, Y, and
you give that conversation in the first.
But that is a question that I asked. But I learned my lesson because my daddy himself told me, don't never tell a man what another man did to you because that's his cue to know what the fuck you can put up with.
Yeah, you give him the blueprint.
So that conversation is dead to me. But I do ask other men like, well, why are you single? Because niggas be out here talking about they single and they really don't be single. So now here go your whole lie about you being single knowing you got a whole bitch at home.
He said he was single, but he didn't say he was single. Like,
no.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't used the two.
So I'm going to tell you, my thing has always been to just worry about what they do with me, right? So first off, just because you trying to talk to me don't mean that that's going nowhere. So if you got a girl at home, that's between you and her, right? So I'm going to just pay attention to how you maneuver to start off with. So I ain't asking you if you got no girl. If you got a girl, that's on you. That because that don't got nothing to do with me. I ain't asked for it. I ain't asked you to come here. If you communicating sometimes and then you just disappear other times, like I'm a base my thought process and how I move forward with you based on how you interact with me. Not even treat me, but just interact with me. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, but that's facts. I do too, right?
No, my phone literally goes.
I do too.
12 hours a day.
First off,
I do 24.
But I'm just saying that's a thing that you pay attention to. So many people want to ask questions, and it causes people to lie because like What
you can lie because I'm watching your actions anyway, just like you said. Like, I'm watching how you treat me, how you handle me. But I want to know if you got somebody, because it's this whole like love triangle shit. Mm-hmm. People be out here dealing with other people, knowing that they got somebody, and the other person that they got is really fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So now you out here linking up, meeting up with me, taking me to the movie, and this bitch is following us.
You gotta be
That's the shit I be talking about. This is why I ask these kind of questions, because I don't ever want to be caught slipping or off guard.
They still gonna lie about it though.
Lie, but I'm gonna be strapped.
Nope.
Let me be prepared. Anyway, I'm strapped anyway, but let me be prepared for the crazy shit, because this is something that I don't have to deal with or go through if you're just honest about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
But I had a situation like that though.
Whoa. I don't like that.
It was like
that's how shit end up deadly though, for real.
I was with a female, and another female came, and I told him, I said, this is a crazy ex. I told her, I prepped him, and then when the female left, she's like, okay, cool. See your crazy ex. Let me tell you about my crazy ex.
Okay.
So it was like a preparation for both of us. Like, you got that one. Let me tell you about this one.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. I think it's a dangerous thing to kind of like, you have to be revealing to a degree, but it's just like, again, like, when do you put your all in? Like, most people playing the hokey pokey in the dating scene, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't give people all the information, you know what I'm saying? So you give them some of the information because you don't even know if it's going anywhere. So like, when do you just say, you know what, let me cut everybody else off and let me see what this could be? At what point do you believe, or what point do you do that?
When that one person showed me that they're a little bit more serious about me than everybody else. Because if not, then nigga, I'm dating everybody.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. I feel like every situation is different. I think that's when you got to communicate that. Like, we got to have a conversation. Like, if you, that again, honesty, right? If you feeling like that's what you want, it's important that you tell that person. Whether you feel like that's where they are, or that's what they want to do. Like, let them know, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling about us, our situation. Because then, if you don't talk about it, you're going to either do something that they're not doing and y'all not going to be on the same page, or you're going to end up with your feelings hurt. Yeah. Right? So it's just best to just be honest about what you feeling like. This is how I'm feeling about us.
And that's when you get so what are we? Like,
you get that
conversation.
Like, you get that conversation.
And it's usually right after sex. It'd be like, so what are we doing?
I thought you was getting ready to go.
Right after sex. You're not.
I thought you get ready to go.
No, it's not gonna be right to say.
You want me to walk you to the door?
Right.
I mean, oh my God. I thought we was doing go bathe and go home.
Make sure you get to the car.
I can look on my ring and see you made it.
Terrible.
Not you don't stay in the bed.
Terrible.
He ain't shit.
But I mean, it's like, you know, some guys make their intentions evident, but I think some women want to believe that
it's more.
And certain guys that come with certain statuses, it is what it is. They casually have sex with females. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important to point out it's a difference between the men you can sleep with and the men you can keep. A lot of females believe because I can sleep with this man, that's the caliber of man I should have, when in actuality, the man who really for you is probably a little bit more chill. He's probably not as boisterous. He's probably not as financially stable. And there's nothing wrong with that. So it's like creating standards that are realistic, especially when you're in big cities like LA, New York, Atlanta. Like, it's a pool of people. I mean, there's a day party literally every day. There's a rooftop party going on right now. That it's people out here just networking, exchanging numbers, swapping, spit, and everything else. So it's like, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
I do like a build up to a relationship though, because I like to see progress. And that's what gets most people left when it's dealing with me. If I don't see growth and progress, if I'm growing and I'm flourishing alone, and then I bring you in, and then I go down. And then I stay down, and I go down from where I was when I was by myself. And then we never go above where I was together. You gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, how long would it take you?
What if you just don't know how to coexist with somebody else?
Listen, I'm a communicative person. I love to talk some shit out. I love to, even though I know it's probably not gonna go as planned, I would like to make a plan for it. If we together for about 4.5, 5 months, we still filling each other out. If we go into the 6th month, headed into the year of it, if I don't see any progress financially, mentally, emotionally, not just with us, but stuff that you said that you wanted for yourself individually, personally, because I still have personal things I want for myself. And then we have to do what we want to do together. If I don't see growth in the things, I hate a motherfucker to be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to be that. And I see 30, 40 fucking days fly by and you haven't put 1 second of your time or 1 penny of your fucking money to go towards the things that you say you want for yourself. I'm not fucking with you.
But let me ask you this though, right? Not to cut you off, but how much of that is him not having the ambition and how much of that is just not having the means to be able to accomplish that? Because we just don't have
step-by-step process.
True, but I will say it's easier to start a business if grandpa owned a business opposed to you just starting from scratch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just might not know.
Listen, that's where it's information all around this motherfucker.
But you still got to know where to get it.
It's okay. We can figure this out if you actually want the fucking information. Don't tell me you want to do some shit and you're going to go get some shit and you have no clue on how to get it.
Ego comes into play with that because then you don't want to ask for help. So I think, again, all of these things come back to knowing your person, right? If this your person is somebody that you're dealing with, you need to pay attention to who they are because then you'll know if you can help them. If they actually need help or if they just lazy as fuck. You'll know which one it is if you pay attention.
I had a guy literally like, you fill out this job application, can you not read?
He asked you to fill it out for him?
Yes.
Wait.
And I wanted to know.
Did you do it?
Did you ask him why he wanted you to fill it out?
I asked the question.
What was his response?
Like me? Just because he didn't fucking feel like me.
Oh.
Okay. So you don't feel like being secured, safe, employed, or financially stable. There's nothing you can fucking do for me. Because if you would have told me, like, baby, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really be comprehending that well what the fuck these applications be asking for. I need your help. I'm like, baby, let's go. Let's get it. I'm about to help you. But if I ask you, why do you need my help filling out this application? And it ain't because you can't motherfucking read or you just don't understand. It's just out of pure fucking laziness. That means if you want nothing for yourself, you couldn't possibly want any fucking thing from me. And then I can't expect nothing from you.
But that's tough for, you understand a man pride. It's tough for a dude to say, baby, I can't read.
Right.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough.
It's not.
That's tough.
That's something you need to let somebody know so that I won't get fucking frustrated with you when I finally find out why the fuck you don't comprehend.
But nobody that don't know how to read want to tell somebody they
you don't need to be dating. You need to be practicing on fucking reading.
Well, I can still do some fucking. Like, let's not get too
far. Let's not.
No.
Hold on. We forgetting one major thing. R. Kelly cannot read, but he can sing his ass off, and he probably can get more pussy than any man.
That's
and hopefully not at this point.
Well, not now. Not now. But back in the day,
you can when you have that financial security, it's easy for you to be able to skip over those things. But if you're trying to get to that financial security, that's not something you can skip over.
What if that's a test? What if he's testing you to see whether you are down to help? Because they do that, right?
Don't test me in the job employment department because I go hard. I'm a hustler. You will get your ass left.
Right.
Okay.
So he can't read. What happened if he a scammer? You would rather him not read or be a scammer?
No, but if he can't read, that's something I can fuck with you on that. Like, all right, baby, let's go. I'll fill out the fucking application.
But that's not again.
But would you want to be with him?
Yes, because I have to teach my kids these same fucking things.
But he's a grown man.
He a grown ass man.
He a grown man.
Like,
He's
why
stuck
he
in
not
his ways.
At that age?
If you're stuck, then we're not for each other. But if you're willing to tell me out your mouth that you can't read and you need my help with something, you're not willing to work on it any further than that, then I'm not for you.
But then, okay.
Because I need you to know how to fucking read.
All right. So let's just say you got 2 kids. Now you got 3 because he can't read.
That's fine. We're going to all have our reading sessions together. I read my kids a book every fucking night.
And you going to read him
practice. No, he going to read it. He going to practice fucking reading out loud. And we're going to sound out words together.
You have a long way to go.
We have a journey.
You already got 18 years.
Just think about it. Would you rather deal with a man who needs help with something that he can actually fix or change, or to deal with a man who's unchangeable?
Well, I would think if he can't read, I would think there would be some type of mental block, and there's probably a disorder there.
Right.
But you won't never find out if you never try to assist this nigga with
True.
the shit.
But I think of it as he gotten this far, as the older age he is, it didn't hinder him then for him to learn to read now.
Oh, but it's hindering his ass now because now I know you can't read and you need my help filling out this job application.
He's just gonna get somebody else to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fine. Go
He's been making his way as long as he's not been able to read.
If you're not willing to conquer these, like me, I'm brushing up on my fucking math skills because my kid is in the fucking 4th grade.
Right.
And I got another one in the 2nd grade, and now I got another one who ain't in nobody fucking grade. I'm gonna eventually have to learn and refresh my memory on my math skills in order to productively help
They got new math these days, by the way.
Yeah,
and
goddamn boxes.
Yeah.
And guess what?
New math. What
this mama right here
shit?
Is gonna be able to assist versus being frustrated and telling my kid, "Oh, well, you should have paid attention in class." They was fucking paying attention, but kids got a short attention span.
Everybody learn
one and out the other.
Yeah.
I tell my kids the same thing. They're all different, so they're all perceiving it differently.
Yeah.
So I can't. If it's something that's just like you said, like a mental block, or just something that we can get over, or something that we can accomplish or conquer together to elevate you, because I'm already elevated in that area, then why not if that's the person that you want to be?
Because black women like to bring that shit up at the most wrong opportune time.
That's why you don't know 2 + 2. Bitch.
That's why you can't read.
Dumb, nigga.
I'm gonna leave that bitch.
Don't
throw nothing up in my nose. That's literally motherfucker.
As soin as he comes to the bedroom,
you couldn't read what it.
You couldn't read it. I wasn't ready.
Well, what did the girl say on Poetic Justice? Yeah, that's right. Brush that weak ass face. Can't stay hard for 5 minutes.
Oh man, people love to say shit that they've been wanting to say when they get mad. That's what I don't like about fucking with folks too. Like,
yeah, I mean that's why it's just like, I mean, I guess if you was talking to a dude, we talking a couple of years here, and then he came and you was like, hey, fill out this application for me, then I could see where he would probably be open enough to be like, babe, I'm gonna be honest with you, this ain't my shit. Like I can't read. But if you just gave a nigga the cheeks, like, you know what I'm saying, and he like, I'm looking for a job.
He shouldn't be asking her to do that shit anyway at that point.
Well, I mean,
not that early on.
Depending on how good he clapped them cheeks. I mean,
man, fuck them cheeks.
I honestly would prefer that the man tell me he just don't feel like doing it right now. Like I just don't want to do it because if you can't read, I'm gonna tell you that to me says at our age, I'm 35, right? So at my age, 88.
It is.
88.
It is. Shout out 88.
Right. So if you went all these years without making any attempt to do something as simple as reading, a 7-year-old learns to read real quick, right? So if a child can do it, I understand, think your brain work different as you get older, but you haven't made enough of an attempt ever long enough to try to do something that you know is a life requirement. That I don't know. That to me, that's more of a issue than you just saying, I just don't feel like doing that shit. Because sometimes I don't feel like doing shit. And I want somebody else to do it. Like, I don't want to pump no gas in my car. And it's kind of like, well, why you want me to do it? I don't feel like doing it. Just you do it, right? Yeah. It's a give and take. But if you telling me you can't do it because of a real life situation that you could have changed and you could have controlled it for many years, right? That means that all the people around you been just aiding you, right? They've been helping you, enabling you, because somebody had to help your ass. You had a job before. How you get that job?
This is what I'm saying.
Like how you get out of school. If you work with your hands, cool. You had to write something down. You had to do something. All jobs, you got to read something.
Multiple choice.
How you get your driver's license?
It's fake.
Right, but
that's what I'm saying.
Too many parts. So it's kind of like where you get all that help
to a person like me that don't mind.
Yeah,
like baby, I'm.
But he had people that didn't mind all those
they
years.
minded.
People
that's the problem. They minded. They just didn't mind his motherfucking mind.
What?
They didn't mind that nigga not knowing how to fucking read. They're like, I know how to read.
On my way over here, no lie, I picked my son up from daycare. We driving down the street. He be like, Daddy, that's a tree. Spell tree. Right? So he just goes do it. And my son's 4, right? We go past the Walmart. He said, Daddy, what's that? I said, it's a light. I guess the wrong thing. He said, no, that's Wendy's. And I was like, how you know that's Wendy's? And he spelled it. At 4 years old, he spelled it. So if you're a grown man and you can't spell, you can't read.
Listen, everybody is different, man. Everybody ain't equipped the same. That's why I dislike when people are like, oh, common sense is common. It's not. It's not.
Our brains work the same way though.
They do not, because we're genetically, DNA wise, we are wired differently. We have different parts of 2 different fucking people who probably didn't even know where the fuck they came from before they even got to make you. Where I'm not thinking about this. That's why I was like, I don't like people who don't think outside the box, because there is a box to think outside of at all.
Yeah, I don't mean like that. I mean the brain, the function, like the basic functions of a brain is the same. Like everybody has the opportunity to learn. It's just, did something happen to you? Now, if something happened to that person, then that's different, right? Is something wrong? That's different. And I feel like, why would you go your whole life without figuring out that something is happening to you? That's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's on you again. That's on your parent. That's potentially on your parents, right? But again, you learn from the time you're born, and you never neuroplasticity. I mean, your brain slows down. Let me say that your brain doesn't learn as quickly. So neuroplasticity goes until you're 25, right? So at 25, then you don't learn things as well. So I can understand somebody having a hard time with some new shit. But why for 20? Why for? I'm gonna say at 4. You say your son's 4. Why for 21 years did you not learn how to read unless something is wrong with you? And that's what I mean by our brains function the same, like stages of growth and age. It's the same. That's how they can tell you what your child should be doing at the age of 4, what your child should be doing at the age of 7. And if they're not doing that, then that means that something wrong. So you mean to tell me from the time that person was born until they got to grade school, their parents didn't think that was wrong with the fact that motherfucker can read?
I was gonna say this is the environmental, like how they was raised, like
that's a deeper problem. That person, not only can they not read, they gonna have all kind of other emotional and mental issues because that you get frustrated. Who the fuck dealing with that?
Right.
That's a doctor. They need a doctor. They need.
I just want to be in the room when they did popcorn in reading class. You know how they do popcorn? Like they'll read like 5 lines and they'll say popcorn, random person.
And
y'all never did it?
And you listen,
oh my God. So listen, this is not funny, but this is like kind of how I like found out like one of my exes couldn't read. And it was so embarrassing. And I see why the niggas skip school when they come.
Oh Lord.
Because the reading was like a delay, like, and the cat
found out.
You fuck around and you found out.
What?
Now I gotta help you with these 4-letter motherfucking words.
Was he nervous?
He might have been nervous.
But see, some people, and that's what I'm like, everybody's different. Some people are just not good reading out loud. But you can read well in your head. But
you can still read.
People are not good
that's
in crowds.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's when I found out that the nigga really couldn't. But actually, when I found out that he was older than me as well, it was not only that you can't read that good, but you older than me, nigga.
I remember being like 5th grade, like I could always read, but it's reading to comprehend. Like when I was like in 5th grade, I'll run through like a whole paragraph, like a whole page.
Doesn't matter if you don't understand.
But it was just like, God damn, what the fuck would I just read?
Did I read?
You wasn't paying attention to what you was
reading. You know what I'm saying? You so nervous in close quarters that people were like, you can't read. So I would read and be good at it and have to go back and be like, what the hell was that even about? So the older you get, you understand that reading is about rhythm, identifying similar words and attaching it. And the English language is kind of like, out of all the languages, it's really fucked. But
it's fucked.
Just in close quarters, speaking to people who speak English gives you an opportunity to learn English because that's all you speak. Now, if you in Mexico and you don't know English, then you kind of get a pass, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, come on now. You in America, everybody speaks American for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know.
Life just be life in it. And I tell people all the time, like, everybody is different.
Yeah.
Every different strokes for different folks. We're all different. And who the fuck am I to judge you for the things that you can and cannot do? And like to piggyback a little bit, childhood trauma. You never know. He probably could have been knocked up inside his motherfucking head with a few books and now he hate reading. Yeah. That's like the child that the parent forces them to go into church. Like, you force your daughter to go to church, but then you let her see that you let your son stay home. Right. And now she fucking hate church.